guys, welcome back to my channel, and firstly I just want to say a huge sorry for not posting anything in such a long time. I know I started to do reaction videos, but I honestly haven't had the time to even like film them, and I've been feeling really sick for the past like few weeks, and you probably guessed it from the title. Yes, so we are expecting our first child. I was so excited and so blessed. Honestly, it's like the best feeling in the world. Um, Even though I've been having like all sort of sicknesses, mood swings, everything, but I guess it's all part of the journey, and just very privileged to be feeling it all, I guess. I just want to take you through my journey, like very briefly. I'm not going to go too much into it. But so yeah, I first found out earlier on this year. So I've been keeping it quiet for quite a long time, which is why my like reaction videos and like just general vlogs and stuff have kind of stopped. So I was feeling extremely tired. That was like one of my first symptoms. I was just wanted to sleep constantly, didn't feel like doing any work. I was just like knackered. And then came like the odd days of morning sickness and queasiness, and I was just wasn't feeling right. It was like even when I get out of bed I was feeling really dizzy and really just like weak. um, so I did a test and it was a very faint positive like line. So I picked these one steps up from Amazon, and like all throughout the time that we was trying to conceive, every few days and stuff I'd like do these tests and things, and most of the time I'd always be disappointed because it was like, you know, it always came back negative. But this time around it came back with a very faint line, and I guess I must have tested it quite early on, so I was very impressed with these. And if anybody's trying to conceive, I'd probably tell you to go and buy a pack of these. I think it's like £3 for like 30 tests or something, so it's brilliant. Like, you know, you can just use it every day. As soon as I got that faint line, I went out and bought a clear blue test, and it's one of the digital ones, and it tells you, just, you know, dip it in and it just tells you how many weeks pregnant you are. So that was honestly one of the scariest like minutes of my life. Okay, so it was confirmed that I was like 4 to 5 weeks pregnant. So that was just, I don't know, just felt like a huge glow at that time. And then the next thing for me was to tell my husband that we're expecting. Like, oh, but the thing was that his birthday was coming up soon as well, so I kind of wanted to keep it a surprise for him. So I tried so bloody hard to keep my mouth shut for some time, and then I obviously told him, was very happy. So yeah, I just want to go through like cravings and things. My past trimester's been really like up and down. Like some days I would feel really queasy, wouldn't want to eat anything. So that's where like crackers were like the best food for me. Just dry crackers, snacking on stuff, because I really had no appetite, don't feel like eating anything. Was still trying to keep down lots of fruits and vitamins. Yeah, and because it's my first pregnancy, I didn't really know what you need to do, what you don't need to do, and you don't really see your midwife until like 12 weeks. So up until then, you don't actually have any guidance or anything. So it's a lot of like researching and asking friends or family for advice and things like that. So that was one thing that I kind of struggled in, because I didn't know like when is my appointment supposed to be. Which is why a lot of these groups were really good. So I started to download lots of these apps and things. So I just want to share with you a few of the really good ones. So this one is the Bounty app, and that's the one that the hospitals will give you a pack for as well. So you'll get a Bounty pack. So this one has really good advice on there. It's also got like a My Hospital section, and it's got all like sort of leaflets and stuff like to do with your pregnancy, any complications, any like tests and everything. So it's very handy for that. And what I love about it is it tells you like every like week that your baby's the size of an avocado, your baby's the size of a peach, the size of an apple seed. Yeah, it's really cute. And like your approximate like baby foot size. So I like this app. It's really like, I don't know, it's just cute to see. Also Baby Center. Now this is another app. It's called Baby Center, and I really like this app because it's got a forum on there, and it's got like lots of mummies talk on there, and like, you know, if people are trying to conceive, it's got lots of hints and tips and just people's like journeys really. You can also like post your own questions, like what pram are you getting, which hospital's better. So for that, I think this one is really good. And I'd probably say another one of my favourite ones is Net Moms. Now this is it's just called Net Moms, and it's another forum really. It's got kind of like advice and like seasonal chat, meetups and things like that. So if you want to meet mums that are in your area, I think it's quite good for that. And another app which is one of my favourites is this one called Pregnancy, and it actually just like shows you all the different like sort of fruit comparisons that you can kind of go through week by week. And then it tells you like your trimester chart, so you know exactly which trimester you're in. And I like that it does this like thing where it tells you exactly how your baby's developing that week. So it'll be like, you know, this week you're developing more on its bones, gives you hints to drink more water, drink foods with calcium, it gives you examples of foods. So like at 26 weeks, a baby will be the size of an aubergine. Um, its lungs are developing, its vital blood vessels are needed for respiration. It just tells you loads of things, which is kind of cute. So yeah, so that's the apps that I have got. So your first point of call is to kind of contact your GP, or if you have a midwife that you can like self-refer yourself to. So I contacted the GP and they passed on my details to the community midwife, who gets in touch with you, gets all your appointments in, books you in for your blood tests, because you have quite a few blood and screening tests and stuff, just to check for like Down syndrome, Edwards, things like that. So yeah, that's an important thing. So make sure you've been seen quite early on, or as soon as you find out you're pregnant, do get yourself checked in or referred to a hospital, or you know, just make sure you've been in touch with your midwife so that they can get all these scans and things in like test for you, because they have to be done at certain like points of the pregnancy and during certain weeks. So your first appointment, you normally get like a bounty pack from the hospital, and this has your green file in there. Now this is the most important thing, because if you ever, you know, are taken into hospital in an emergency or anything, it's got all your notes in there, all your medical history, all the results of your blood tests, all the results of everything is basically in there. So that's like the most important thing throughout your pregnancy, so don't forget to look after that one. And you just get lots of leaflets in there as well, which is really informative. Yeah, so that's the bounty pack. So I actually had to have extra screening done for like sickle cell and beta thalassemia, because as I mentioned before, I have a few blood problems. So we also had to get my husband to do a few blood tests just to make sure it's not passed down to the baby and it's like a genetic thing. So be sure to check that you don't have any sickle cell or beta thalassemia history, like maybe ask your parents. They might have a clue if they're carriers of this gene. So that's one thing I'd probably ask you to be wary of. Yeah, so I'm just going to go through like little things that have helped me throughout my pregnancy so far, or like my best buys. So first thing I'm going to start with is my vitamins. Now, when we were trying to conceive, I picked up these ones from Holland and Barrett. Now, this is folic acid and vitamin D, and it's supposed to help the baby's like brain development, spinal developments, lots of like different disorders and things. So it's very important that you take these. So I started taking these ones, which were just folic acid and vitamin D, whilst we were trying to conceive, because they're not that expensive and you get like 100 in these or something. So that was really good for me, just to be taken every day. And what your body doesn't need, it just gets rid of anyway. And then as soon as I found out that I was expecting, I went out and bought Pregnant Care. This one is one that a lot of the midwives and things will suggest. You get them free in your sample packs and things like that. So yeah, so this has all the vitamins and minerals that you need to, you know, keep the baby sustained all throughout your pregnancy. You can take these ones. So there we go, that's a list of all the vitamins and stuff that it has in there. You only have one tablet a day with your main meal. A lot of people said they felt sick with this. I felt fine, and I find that if you usually take it with a glass of like vitamin C juice, like something which is like orange or something like that, it just helps settle it down a bit, and it helps with the absorption of like the iron, the zinc and everything as well. The other thing, because you don't actually have a scan until you're 12 weeks, um, that was the hardest like journey for me. Like that was the hardest part of the journey, not just knowing or not knowing if it's healthy, if it's heart's beating. And I was getting really anxious and constantly worried at night. I couldn't sleep. It was like, why can't I feel it yet? But obviously, it's so tiny. It's like the size of an apple seed when you first sort of find out. So, yeah, that was a bit nerve wracking for me. And the only way that you can kind of check and see if the baby's all developing healthy is when you have your first scan, which is around 12 weeks. So, it's called your dating scan. And up until then, it's, I don't know, you feel really uneasy until you've seen it or until you've like heard the heartbeat. So I picked up one of these fetal Dopplers. So normally they say you can't hear it on the fetal Doppler until you're about 12 weeks. But I mean, if you know the like tricks of the trade, and if you are quite lucky, I picked it up at 9 weeks. So that gave me a lot of reassurance for the last few weeks of my up until my scan. So this gave me a lot of reassurance, and I've also done a video on this as well. So you can pick this up on Amazon. It's not that expensive actually. I'll leave the links down below. And also, if you guys want to see how to use this properly, like my hints and tips and stuff, so be sure to check out the video that I filmed using a fetal Doppler. It can be a little bit confusing, especially if you don't know which sound you're looking for. But I wouldn't get too stressed out. If you can't find it when you're about 9 weeks, 10 weeks, I wouldn't get too worked up about it, because it's quite normal. I mean, if you think about it, the baby is so tiny and its heart is literally so tiny, it's easy to miss. It also depends on the position of the baby and things like that as well. So I wouldn't get too worked up, but if you're like me and you need that reassurance, yeah, I'd go ahead and purchase this. And it's just nice for us to hear every like couple of days or every week or so now. Me and my husband just sit there and we just like try and find the baby's heartbeat. We like have a little guessing game, like where is it, do you think? So yeah, that's really nice for us. You can hear it. It just makes, I don't know, it just gives you that reassurance, and you feel a lot more safe knowing that its heart's beating nicely, and it's like galloping as well, so it's really cute. So that's one of my favourite buys. The other thing is that you want to do is start oiling yourself so you don't get any stretch marks, and also to prevent any tears and things down there. So this is the MaenaS Japanese Camellia oil. Now I absolutely love this oil. It's not too strong, it doesn't smell too much, it's very light on the body. Yeah, this is a little bit expensive, but I mean, I think Victoria Beckham or someone had used it before, and they vouch that it doesn't give you stretch marks or it helps prevent them or whatever. So yeah, so all I do is just pour a little bit into this little MaenaS tube, and it's like a little drizzler. And twice a day I apply it all around my tummy, like my bum, and just, yeah, just keep myself moisturised really. It's very important. I found that my skin has gotten very dry and just very flaky since I started expecting. I guess it's kind of a hint to me that I need to be drinking a lot more water than normal. So what I normally do is I wake up in the morning, I will dry buff my body with one of these brushes, like twice a week or so, that I will do it quite vigorously. Otherwise every day I will do it quite gently. So I would just like, dry buff my body with this, get into the shower, use quite a nice moisturising shower cream, and then as soon as I'm out of the shower I put on this MaenaS oil, let it sink into my body. Yeah, so I do that kind of like twice a day, or I'll just reapply the oil just before I get into bed. And the other one that is for stretch marks is this cocoa butter one from Palmer's. So it's actually formulated with, for stretch marks. It doesn't have any parabens in there, which I think is really important. Yeah, but I just find that the smell of that was a bit too strong for me. I just needed something a bit more light. Yeah, so the MaenaS worked perfectly for me. Yeah, so far that's my journey. I have been getting lots of weird cravings, pickled onions, chips. I seem to love chips a lot. Like, they need to be like the chunky chip shop chips with vinegar and salt, and yes, so that has been like my major craving. I don't really feel lots of sweets and sugary stuff, which is really unusual for me, because normally I'm quite into that. But yeah, it's weird how you can just go off of eating something. But yeah, so lots of like salty, vinegary sort of stuff. Yeah, so are we going to find out the sex or the gender now? Ooh. So I actually used to work in radiology before, so I have a few inklings and things of how, like, you know, you can read sonograms and things like that. So we decided initially we weren't going to find out, um, but I think we're just going to go to our next scan and then just see how it goes. I mean, I think I'll probably be able to tell either way, but we might just keep it a surprise for everybody. I know my sister's thinking of doing like a gender reveal, so I guess we might just keep it a surprise and give it to her so she can plan this whole thing for us, which I think will be quite nice. Um, Yes, but do you guys have an inkling of what I could be having? What do you think? Do you think it's a boy or do you think it's a girl? Post your comments down below. For me, my favourite part of it was the dating scan. Now this one actually, I don't know, you go in for your ultrasound and sometimes they do it internally if they can't see it clearly. Sometimes they put the probe inside, that means. And then other times they get you to drink lots of water and then they have a look through the top. So this one tells you that the baby's heart is beating fine. They look at any sort of like general anomalies that they might spot. They literally do call it a dating scan because they date your pregnancy, how far you are along, and it's just such a relief to see it. Like ours was doing somersaults, so it's just such a nice relief to see, you know, that everything is healthy so far. Yeah, so that was quite nice. They also do like the screening test there as well, so they check for a fluid level, which kind of indicates against Downs, Patos, and I think it's Edwards or something like that. So that was very important for us because we wanted to make sure we're going to have a healthy baby, or as healthy as we could make it. Yeah, so that was quite nice to, you know, have that done. You can also go for a private scan beforehand. I know there's lots of clinics and stuff which offer private scans, so you can have them from like 6 weeks onwards, I think. Also, if you like, you know, need that extra reassurance or you just want to, you know, see that it's developing fine and stuff, you can also go and have a private scan. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was like a huge overwhelming feeling between like, I mean, I just literally just looked at my husband and was like, oh my god, that's ours. Like, oh, it was crazy. It's such a nice feeling. Yeah, honestly, couldn't be more blessed. Um, it still hasn't really sunk in. I mean, I have started to get a little bit of a bump now, but it's still not sunk in. Like, I'm gonna be a mom. Right, so that is the end of this video. I'm going to be posting lots more like this. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Comment any of your suggestions down below, anything that you guys have used during your pregnancy that would benefit me, or you know, anything that you guys have seen, or you know, whatever. Just post it down below. I'd love to check those out. I will try and film a lot more now that I'm feeling a bit more perked up. Morning sickness is kind of gone now, which is great. Yeah, I still feel those odd fatigued days, but not like my first trimester. I was literally like a zombie during my first trimester. So lots more videos coming soon. Just want to send a big love to everyone and thank you all for understanding why I haven't been able to post any videos. And I literally have spoken so fast. I need to go and gulp like a whole thing of water now.